Hello everyone, welcome to this session. Our chapter is blood circulation, or we can just say that transportation of materials in living things. So we are discussing about the components of the blood. So in our previous session, we saw these major components of the blood. Uh, so in this session, we'll dive into more of these components, specifically talking about the functions of the major blood components. So we'll start with some of the blood components, and you'll see their various functions. Starting with the first one, these red blood cells. The red blood cells are just one of the components of the solid component of the blood. So the red blood cells here, they've two main or two major functions. The first one that is just to pick up oxygen from the lungs and deliver it to the tissues elsewhere. So this is the first function of the red blood cells. They pick up the oxygen from the lungs and deliver it to the tissues or to various body parts. Then the other function is just to pick up the carbon dioxide from the other tissues and unload it into the lungs. So here is just the explanation of all this, how it happens. The erythrocytes, these red blood cells, they transport oxygen in the blood through the red pigment called the hemoglobin. So the hemoglobin is the red pigment that is found within these erythrocytes, the red blood cells that help to transport the oxygen. Uh, Now, the hemoglobin, it contains the iron and the proteins joined just to greatly increase the oxygen carrying capacity, or the capability or the ability of this the red blood cells just or the capability just to carry the oxygen. So the hemoglobin, it contains these two major components that are there to help to increase the capability of carrying the oxygen. The high surface area to volume ratio of the erythrocytes allows the oxygen to be easily transferred into the cells in the lungs and out of the cells in the capillaries of the systemic tissues. So this is how the erythrocytes they are adapted. They have high surface area to volume ratio that it enables or it allows the oxygen to be easily transferred into the cells in the lungs and just out of the cells in the capillaries of the systemic tissues. Moving on, the erythrocytes are produced inside the red bone marrow from stem cells at the astonishing rate of about 2 million cells every second. So you can tell that the erythrocytes, the red blood cells, are just produced inside the red bone marrow at this astonishing rate here, which is 2 million cells per second. Now, moving on, let's see the white blood cells. Although the white blood cells accounts for only just about 1% of the blood, they play a very important role or a very important work in the body. Their main function is just to protect the body against the disease, these disease pathogens. So the white blood cells are there to defend the body against the various pathogens which are disease causing. There are two of the white blood cells, each of which play a specific role in protection of the body against the illness and the disease. Uh, which are talking about them. The first one is the phagocytes. They engulf and digest the invading bacteria and the viruses, here also known as the pathogens. So that's the first one, and it is the body's main defense against germs, or these we call also the microbes. The other one is the lymphocytes. They produce antibodies which neutralize antigens from the bacteria or viruses. So these are just two of the white blood cells that are there just to fight against the pathogens. Now they kill these lymphocytes. They kill the microbes or make them cramp together just to be removed in the lymph glands. So that's how they help to protect or defend the body. The white blood cells are produced in the yellow marrow of the bone, spleen, thymus, and the lymphatic system. So here is where the white blood cells can be produced. You've seen where the red blood cells they can be produced. So white blood cells are produced in the yellow marrow of the bone, the spleen, the thymus, and the lymphatic system. Moving on, let's see the platelets. This is the other component of the blood. The platelets are just small fragments of the bone marrow cells, and therefore not really classified as cells themselves, but they can have really particular use. here the platelets have the following functions. As you can see, the first one that secrete the constrictors, which they constrict blood cells, causing vascular spasms in broken uh, blood vessels. So that's the first function of these platelets. They are there as in case of these vascular spasms in broken blood vessels. Also form temporary platelet planks to stop bleeding. So they are there just to form like a clotting. So they form a temporary platelet plugs to just stop the bleeding. Also, secrete procoagulants, the clotting factors to promote blood clotting. So that's the other use of the platelets. Also dissolve blood clots when they are no longer needed. So that's the other use when the blood clots are no longer needed, or just enable the healing. So they dissolve those blood clots. Also digest and destroy bacteria. So they can also help in destroying and digesting the various bacteria. Moving on, the other use, the predators, they secrete chemicals that attract the neutrophils and the microcytes to sites of inflammation. So that's the other use. They secrete these kind of chemicals that are there just to various sites of inflammations. Also, they secrete the growth factors just to maintain the linings of the blood vessels. So that's the other use of platelets. They secrete these growth factors just to help to maintain the linings or the linings of the blood vessels. So that's clear in terms of the uses of the platelets. In general, the blood platelets functions in healing of the wounds when the skin gets broken. So you can simply tell in terms of the main function of the platelets that they're there just to enable the healing when there are wounds, or when the skin gets broken. Now, this is achieved by clamping together of the platelets to form a network of mesh. Hence, bleeding is stopped. So that's how the bleeding is stopped, by clamping together of the platelets just to form the network of this kind of a mesh. Moving on, let's see the plasma. The plasma is non-cellular or liquid portion of the blood. Plasma is the mixture of these components: water, proteins, and the dissolved substances. So these are the main components of the plasma. Around 90% of the plasma is made up of water, although the exact percentage varies depending upon the hydration levels of the individual. Now, blood plasma has the following functions. The first one, that plasma serves as the transport medium for delivering nutrients to the cells of the various organs of the body. So that's the first use. They act as the transport medium for various these nutrients to the cells, uh, for the various organs, yes, for various purposes. Also, it transports the waste products delivered from the cellular metabolism to the kidneys, liver, and the lungs for excretion. So they play important role in excretion process, and it fights infections since it contains the antibodies. So it's there also just to fight the various infections that a body can encounter. Then also it also transport system. It's kind of a transport system for blood cells, and it plays a crucial role in maintaining normal blood pressure. So that's the other use. It's playing a important role in maintaining the normal blood pressure, as it also acts as the transport system for the blood cells. The plasma also helps to distribute the heat throughout the body and to maintain the homeostasis, that is maintaining the normal body conditions or biological stability, including the acid-base balance in the blood and the body. So that's the other use of the plasma. Also it carries and transports some hormones to respective areas. So that's all I have for this session of That's Relevant. Thank you for listening. We've discussed the major components of the blood. They have various functions in the body, and we've seen how they play various important roles in the functionings or in the various body systems. So that's clear, and thank you.